think I'm gonna go ahead and hop on this Oprah no contact bandwagon. As usual, I think Oprah is sort of getting away with framing something in the negative while being able to play both sides. And she is a master of this. She's a master interviewer. I've seen people pick apart Oprah's interview tactics, and she's like one of the best interviewers we've ever had. But what I noticed about this is it's clearly framed in the negative. It is framed as an epidemic of kids going no contact with their families. The first person that we hear from is this guy, the guy that thinks that we should reconcile with our parents. And then for the opposing view, the person that unconsciously we are supposed to see as the villain is this Karen-looking lady. I actually thought she was extremely eloquent. She is the author of Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Hate that book. I know a lot of people love that book, but I thought the way she spoke, I was like, I'm surprised you didn't write a better book, because I thought she was very convincing. I thought actually all three of the experts were very level-headed. And for a while, I was like, yeah, maybe this is just sort of a level-headed conversation we're having about something that is happening in our society. But then I kept coming back to these little moments where I'm like, yeah, I cannot get away from the framing of this, like the container that we are sitting in with this issue. Especially when they talked to the audience members who had gone no contact with their parents. I felt like immediately they were on the defensive, that they were having to explain or give a good enough explanation of why they chose to go no contact. And I was just like, wait a second, why am I sitting here asking myself, is this a good enough reason? Truly and honestly, the only reason that you need to go no contact with your family is, I did not feel good. A good enough reason is, I didn't want to be in contact with them anymore. Like, we should not be having to over-explain this. It should not have to be validated by a panel of our peers, by a panel of psychologists. We are a generation of people who are upholding a new emotional standard of connection in relationship. And it's not just in parenting. This is the same issue we are struggling with in relations between men and women. Women are upholding a new standard. Men are having trouble getting to that standard. In the old rules, disconnection from the family was unthinkable. Oprah says this over and over. She's like, people never used to do this. They would just suffer from this forever. But in the new culture, in the new paradigm, it is acceptable to disconnect from family in order to look after your own mental health. It's not right or wrong, it's just different. But we are also suffering from lacking certain skills for conflict. In the old paradigm, we never had conflict, we just let everything go and we suffered internally. That is no longer a part of the paradigm. And the first step to that is saying, you hurt me. I need you to see and understand how I am hurting. And I need to bring us into right relationship instead of you running over me all the time. If you're not used to conflict, your response to that will be defensiveness. It will be to dismiss the other person's emotions or experience. But over time, as you learn how to do conflict, you realize that when someone brings conflict to you, they're doing it because they want to stay in right relationship with you. And there were parents on that program that had learned that had learned, oh, okay, I need to be able to validate my child's experience. I'm not saying that that always fixes this. And I think we are very much in a stage of this paradigm shift. And the stage that we're in right now is called disconnection. It is called, I don't know how to resolve this anymore. I have used the skills that I know how to use. And so I'm going to take a sabbatical from this relationship. I think a lot of people who have gone no contact with their families, there is going to be a circling back. Either their families come to the light and understand that they need to learn how to reconcile this relationship, or there are families who are open to it, but the person who is disconnected, their nervous system is not allowing them to reconcile or come back and try to have conflict. And then there are these families where people have lived with awful suffering, awful abuse, and stayed connected to their loved ones through just sheer torture, sheer self-torture of just holding it. And in those families, the breakages may need to be natural, and they may be, the healing tendency is we all go in our own directions. But I think to frame this as our kids got the idea on the internet to go no contact with their families. Ooh, doesn't that sound the same as our kids got the idea to become trans on the internet? Or our kids got the idea to follow Satan during the satanic panic through the board game Dungeons and Dragons. Like, this is very much a moral panic. The sign of a moral panic is always the new clashing with the ideas of the old, the beliefs that we will be destroyed by the new. Oprah loves to hop on these moral panic episodes. She always has. And I just don't think our society is going to be ruined by this. But I think we are being held to a new standard of right relationship with people, of actual intimacy, of not abuse. And I think that's all a good direction.